Meredith is a party girl who has a desk job, and she probably couldn't get a job at a bar even if she wanted to. Can't. Not trustworthy. But this is the thing about Meredith is Meredith is the most honest character. I mean, even in her silence, there's honesty. If that makes any sense. She's the observer, short-sighted as she is. And, Meredith is wildly inappropriate, but she's not that loud all the time, so you may not notice.
I've been on my best behavior for 9 years. If it wasn't for the cameras, I would have done some truly vulgar crap.
What I love about the writing for Meredith is that I feel like the writers were constantly playing this little chess game where she was completely in the background, and then, whenever she came forward, it was completely worth the wait. So I feel complete. Well, let's just say there was a few times when it was a little embarrassing at lunchtime with the camera guys. I felt like they didn't really look me in the eye if we had a special situation, if you don't say it. Meredith was topless a lot, or just outright embarrassing. And I always felt like a little bit like I was jumping out of an airplane in those moments, because you kind of can't judge it. You just have to go do it. And always worth it. Always writing, always worth anything they threw at me. Always worth it. Any stunt. I mean, I did most of my own stunts I did, and it was worth it every single time.
Good stuff. Andy and Dwight are rocking the sales team. I feel very blessed.
Well, my first big stunt was getting hit by Michael Scott's car. So I actually, I had to start on the glass and hit the glass and then roll off on a giant pad. And a couple people acted it out for me before. One of the producers acted it out and showed me so I wouldn't be afraid. They didn't realize, I was not afraid. It was fine. Bring it on. I think there was a scene where I was planking and Dwight Schrute literally had to take a fire extinguisher and blow me off the top of a toilet stall. Oh my God, that was nuts. I just saw that the other day. I was like, wow, I had great stomach muscles back then. I can really plank. And then when we had the bat, Joss Whedon was the director for this episode, Business School, and that's the episode where a bat gets loose at Dunder Mifflin, and Meredith, unfortunately, has to encounter it because they've trapped it in the kitchen, and Meredith comes out of the ladies' room. So Dwight decides to put a bag over her head with the bat. And there's a huge struggle, and that's when the chemistry of Dwight and Meredith began. Yeah, a lot of tension, man, a lot of tension. It was great.
Bunch of prudes. Oscar's allowed to wear sandals, but I'm not allowed to wear open-toed shoes. Is that how it goes?
Meredith, your boob is out.
Fine.
Casual day. It's casual day. My parents are so proud about that one. Especially when there's a 6-year-old kid saying whatever. But I get it. At least it's not HBO. But yeah, I get talk classy, act nasty.
Like my mom used to say, talk classy, act nasty.
What's with the wig, Meredith?
What, is it on backwards?
I get, don't fall in love with me, kid.
Don't fall in love with me, kid.
And there's some things that I'm embarrassed that I forgot. I'm like, oh my God. And somebody just reminded me recently that I said crotch injuries are the worst.
Crotch injuries are the worst. You don't need to tell me.
So thanks for that reminder. I appreciate that. I have nothing but lovely memories of my time on The Office. I have to say, this show completely changed my life. Let me tell you something. This show, no matter how great my life gets or how big my career is, I don't think I'll ever have as great a job as working on The Office. The day-to-day working, we had our own desks. We could keep stuff in our desks, so we had a place to go immediately. And that's huge. I don't know, it just felt like we were all included because we were always in that room. So even if I didn't talk for days, and sometimes I didn't talk for days, sometimes I barely talked in an episode. I had like one word in a few episodes, but I never felt less than. I never felt like I wasn't as important as anybody else.
I just feel lucky that I got a chance to share my crummy story with anyone out there who thinks they're the only one to take a dump in a paper shredder. You're not alone, sister. Let's get a beer sometime.
This is the thing about the finale. The finale was like shooting a little movie, but you're so emotional because you've been through so many ups and downs. It's the last season. And then we're suddenly at a farm. Suddenly we're in this giant documentary hall with a huge audience. I mean, there's so many things in the finale that I was like, what? I feel like we were less at Dr. Mifflin for the finale than we had been, but it was fantastic. So it was almost like this shiny object that was distracting us from the fact that this was all going to be over any second. Forever. Well, The Office changed comedy. It changed TV. And I think there's something about the subtlety of the work environment. Like, we could all relate to a work environment. But I also think that there's so many relatable characters, and the mundaneness of a day-to-day workplace has never quite been honored in the way that it has on our show. Just on every level. Just that, you know, the party planning committee, oh my God, like the stakes couldn't be dumber. But that's how it is at work.
Another idea was karaoke.
No.
A Christmas drinking game.
Yes. God help you.
What?
So many people know every nuance of the show. I mean, it's unbelievable. And it makes me so happy and so proud. I mean, you always want something that you do to live on, but this is unbelievable. I mean, we are talking a crazy level of just the consciousness digging The Office. We are in planet. I mean, The Office is, you know, it's like the voice of a generation too now. It's crazy. It's a wonderful, bizarre thing that our show has had this complete, amazing cultural emergence. It's been an obsession of so many fans. I mean, like, people just leave it on all day. I mean, people, they say they fall asleep to me every night. And a few years ago, that might have creeped me out, but now I get it.